and welcome to Council Action. I'm Russell Inman, and joining us tonight from the City of Florissant's Ward 9 is Ben Hernandez. Ben, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good tonight. Doing good.
Did you enjoy this beautiful weekend that we had?
Yes, we did. I did, and it was great. Got outdoors, did a lot of house things, and I actually barbecued some pork steaks and just had my fill.
You know, it was good. It was a good time to be outside, and we were really just hit with the frigid weather today.
Yes, and apparently it's going to get more frigid. I think we're expecting something like low of 14 on Wednesday or Thursday, so it's going to get cold again.
Well, Ben, you know, you just mentioned you were barbecuing.
Yes.
And now it's going to be too cold this week. It's a good thing later on in the agenda we're going to talk about a couple barbecue restaurants that are coming to town here in Florissant. That way,
yes,
on these cold days, we can have it brought into us.
Or you can have it exactly right during the winter. Be great barbecue.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the meeting. There was a special presentation, a certificate of appreciation from the VFW. A lot of times we see the City of Florissant doing something for the community in a presentation, but this is really the community kind of giving back to the city tonight.
Yes, and you're going to find that veterans are everywhere throughout the city. I mean, there's veterans from World War I, World War II, still maybe some still survivors, but Korea, there's Vietnam, and during the peace times. There's a lot of veterans that have served our country, and of course, let's never forget the ones that gave the ultimate sacrifice, and always remember that. But they're everywhere, and we always help them, and they help each other. They formed the VFW. I'm familiar with or belong to the VFW 444 off of Jamestown Road. There's also the veterans group as well, Vietnam veterans. So there's a lot of men and women in our city that have served our country. So the city recognizes them, and they in turn recognize our administration for helping them out.
That's great. We had hearing from citizens after that presentation. It started off with a nice lady who came up, and to my surprise, at least, the topic that she brought up, which was the right to carry, and her stand on being able to bear firearms. And I was a little bit caught off guard. The lady was a sweet lady, and wasn't expecting a right to carry stand.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. We actually walked in together into the building and into the council chamber here and so forth. And but what got me as well was that she mentioned she's taking a class.
Yeah.
She's part of her class. I thought, well, that's great. She's continuing, her education.
And she was well spoken tonight. Yes. Had good points made.
Yes, it was enjoyable.
We also had one gentleman come up that was running for the first Florissant School Board. I guess he's just looking for the city's kind of recommendation or stand behind him.
I think they just want to be recognized that there are candidates running, because there's several, 6 or maybe 9 candidates running here for the Florissant School Board, and so that we'll see. We saw one tonight. We might see another council night, but they'll come in and introduce themselves and show who their face is. And so when you see the signs out and about in the wards, including my ward as well, you can put a picture, the face to the sign, who that individual is.
Hopefully the citizens can learn more about who's running and what they stand for to bring back our school district here in the city of Florissant.
And it's strictly a volunteer, situation there as well. So, yes.
No communications tonight. One public hearing. This was interesting. This is a different kind of business. It was a special use permit for Dinner Lab St. Louis, allowing the operation of a catering company. It's a property at 472 Howdershell Road. But this is a different spin on a catering company. It's not one that, at least at this point, you or I could hire them to do an event.
Yes, and I thought it was very interesting as well, because Mike, the other council members asked the questions that were going through my mind as well, regarding when you load up the van and you move the facility and you have basically a to-go kitchen and you set up and you serve the food. I was concerned about the regulations regarding health and all the permits and stuff that are involved. But as long as everything's cooked and prepared at the facility where they're going to be on Howdershell, then it's just transported. I guess it's not just a matter of serving the food. Then at that point, but I guess you got to be kind of a member. It's a one-year membership, and I wasn't familiar with what kind of pricing or what is involved for the compensation there for that.
A bit exclusive, if you will.
Exclusive.
You have to be a member to know where the events are and to invite a friend.
So it's interesting, and then she mentioned there are another 25 other market cities, and so and I was curious why.
Just a 2.5-year-old company.
And they were surprised that they chose Florissant, maybe because of the area, the location. Maybe it's a good place to start off, and maybe they'll expand more in the area. But it should be interesting how their company progresses forward from here, and how it's hopefully success. So,
Well, she was able to answer the questions that the council came up with tonight, and that went forward to a first reading
yes,
later on in the meeting.
yes.
On second readings, the CVS Pharmacy, that was postponed again.
We postponed that again. There's some things with the CVS on Dunn Road and New Florissant that they said they were going to step up to the plate and complete and some certain tasks there, and they haven't come through yet. So we've been postponing the issue, kind of letting them know, well, take care of your business first before you proceed with the second facility. Second store. And so I think it's just probably the next council, we might just go and pass it then at that point. I think things are moving forward finally.
Okay.
But we wanted to let them know that, follow through what you said you're going to do, and everything will be all right.
Great, great. Well, then we had the barbecue restaurants. We talked about those when
Yes.
we were talking about the great weather here a second ago. There's a barbecue restaurant for 8471 North Lindbergh. This is taking over what the citizens may have known as the old Dunkin' Donuts shop that's closed up, and Red's Barbecue's coming in. This allowed just for the barbecue cooking area and sit-down carry-out restaurant at that location.
That is correct. And so we're getting quite a, when I was surprised when they both came in at the same time, that we're opening, because Fat Boys Barbecue opened up on Graham Road, I believe. Is it Graham Road? Yeah. And San Ferdinand Street there. So we have that one, and then we have two others coming in on Lindbergh, and then the other one's on Patterson. So they're kind of spread apart about a mile or two or three apart from each other, location-wise. So we're getting an influence of barbecue. So again, each of them is a little different. We already have bandanas over there on Lindbergh as well. It's there. So I think I guess it can't hurt to have more barbecue available, especially when it's a cold, wintry, snowy day. You can call it in, it'll deliver hopefully, and you can enjoy the meal.
Yeah, well, Reds went through in 3 readings tonight then, and so did that AJB's.
Yes, and the nice thing about like AJB's, his location, it is an empty plaza per se, other than Nago's, and you got the other bar at the other end. It's adding, bringing in, and hopefully filling in space, and hopefully they'll do well and stay there, the business-wise, and hopefully give the residents a little bit more variety.
Yeah, they're going to give the option of carry-out and delivery, which you don't see a lot with barbecue.
You don't see a lot
so.
of that, and I was kind of nice to hear that to provide that service.
Well, it would be nice with the 3 new barbecue restaurants for the city of Florissant. We just need to go and grab a bite from each one. We can have our own little barbecue competition right here in the city. I said the Hill has their pasta, and Florissant, well, we're going to have our ribs.
Well, you might have something there. That'd be something to look into. Somebody with ribs, somebody with chicken, and somebody with brisket or something.
That's right.
Never know. Never know.
Okay, then we've got Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're moving their facility not far. They could probably throw a stone from one entrance to the other.
Right across the street, catty corner to the plaza, which they're going to be located right next to the donut cupboard, which I happen to patronize as well as the Old Town Donut Shop. So they're going to move right next to them there at that plaza, which is it's a larger facility, and give them more space, and hopefully they can provide a good service for other residents as well.
Bills for first reading tonight. These went fast. We had the dinner lab. We mentioned that. Then there was an ordinance authorizing the reimbursement of capital expenditures with the proceeds of tax-exempt bonds. 1 reading tonight. Anything you'd like to speak on that?
No.
There was an ordinance advancing the sum of $1,170,000 from the general fund, the city of Florissant, to the court building fund to provide for the purchase of a court building and related costs. What's going on here?
Weber bowling alley, I guess Weber Lanes, whatever it was called there, on Elizabeth, and they closed, which was kind of sad because that was a nice bowling facility. I've been there to many kids' parties, and they closed one day, and we found out that the building was going to be up for sale, and the city administration pursued the purchase of the building, and I guess we met an agreement with the purchase price with the seller, and we were actually been looking for a new court building for a very long time because our present facility next door here is too small, and so hopefully this is going to take care of our needs for a long time, and we're still in the process of closing the purchase here over the next couple of months.
Well, that explains the next bill for first reading, which was an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Florissant to enter into a purchase and sale agreement for the property at 4575 Washington, which you said is the old bowling alley.
Yes, it's the old bowling. It's a large building. It's going to accommodate a lot, and it gives us a lot of space to grow, and hopefully it'll take care of the needs all in one location and be able to address the issues we have.
And the final bill for first reading tonight was an ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 210, Offenses, by adding a new section regarding the regulation of the sale and possession of vapor products, which is a new growing trend.
Yeah, it's a new growing trend, and other municipalities have taken or jumping on board, and so I think we finally decided to jump on board as well, because I'm not a smoker, so I'm not familiar with these type of products, and I just don't think they should be around our youth as well, and I think what I hear on TV as well is I don't think they're a good thing either. So if people should just stop smoking, period, regardless of what it is.
Are they allowing, in a non-smoking facility, are the vapor products allowed to be used in buildings? How does that work with the smoking code?
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay.
To be honest with you, like I say, I'm a non-smoker and I just don't deal with those issues at all,
Okay.
or the people, that deal with that.
Council announcements, those were even few and far between tonight, but there was a mention of an officers selling shirts and hoodies to raise money and support for another officer that looks like they've got cancer. So they're just kind of Florissant standing behind one of their own.
That's great. The shirts are going to be being sold for $10, and so hopefully they'll generate enough proceeds to help this police officer, and it's kind of nice they take care of their own. I know these times health expenses are very expensive across the board, so hopefully they'll be able to hurdle over it and get healthy and live a long life.
The mayor also mentioned tonight the business fair and Taste of North County. That's a popular event that comes year after year. That's going to be on March 21st.
21st. It's sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, and it is a well-attended event, so hopefully they'll get the attendance again and by the people, and it'll be a great thing for everyone.
Well, what else is going on in your ward, Ben?
Let's see. Other than that, things are just, the Walmart is still is still proceeding. The structure's basically there. They're getting the lighting situated with the posts are going up, but the word is it's maybe sometime in May the opening of the building will occur, the Walmart building. So I'm sure it's gonna shake the rattles or rattle the cages there around the stores that are along Lindbergh, because Kmart's up the street, Target, and the Shop and Save, and the Snooks, and a few other stores. So hopefully they'll work together and everything will work out with that. So, but that's coming along. The Walmart there, it's going to be a big thing there in Florissant. Yes. And there was pros and cons with that retailer, the Walmart. So other than that, there's a possibility maybe someday in the future, if we can ever snaggle perhaps another food chain, hopefully that'll come about, and then it'll be a good surprise for the city of Florissant there in our city to get that. Culvers, I actually visited Culvers, and they are busy, but you can get in and out with no problem at all. You're being served. Now the only thing they're having a problem with now, they haven't finished and completed, is the drive-through comes around the front of the building, so it blocks people from trying to park in front of the building.
Oh, gosh.
So right now, until they get the development of the drive-through corrected to come in from the right side and free up so people can come in and park, it's kind of a real traffic jam right now, and hard to get in and out. But it's doing very well. The food's good, and my suspicion is when summer comes along, the concretes and sundaes that they offer with all the different flavors and toppings is going to be hopping place.
Yeah.
So I mentioned to the mayor that maybe perhaps we'll look at maybe changing the hours of the park, somewhere, something maybe we want to look into if it's going to draw a lot of business, a lot of people to do more things in the evening, because you can buy food for family meals to go or whatever, and this is so close by. You have a great picnic, so we'll see how that develops down the road.
Okay.
But they're doing well. Other than that, things are just moving along.
Buzzing along for the last bit of winter.
Yes, and there's still no word for the old Barnes & Noble location when they went away. That area, that space is still vacant there across Keys. So I'm still hoping that something does come through and fill in the gap, because I know a lot of people do miss Barnes & Noble. I know from our family point of view, we do as well. But a lot of residents are very, very distressed about it leaving, But was a corporate decision and nothing to do with any of us. So,
Well, we look forward in anticipation of what could fill that space.
yes, hopefully so. Something good.
That's something good. Well, Ben, thank you for your time tonight. Thanks for going through the agenda and telling us
No problem.
the updates for Ward 9 and what's going on with the Walmart. I know everybody's kind of looking forward to that completion
Yes, so that's hopefully what the word is, maybe sometime in May.
sometime in May. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. This is Council Action. I'm Russell Inman. We'll see you next time.
Take care.